What's up, Mike?
What is happening, my man? We gonna get a pose off here?
It's not gonna fit on the screen, bro. Come on, take it easy. Take it easy.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that.
Hey, Mike, I want to start this episode. I want to ask you something. Actually, I don't know if you want. I don't know if you want to talk about this, or maybe you do. I don't know. We were talking about the character of a man on the last episode. Remember that? It was a good one. So, have you ever had altercations with anybody in the industry? I know you had some kind of beef with Mark Bell, which I think you guys resolved, right? I don't know. You can talk about that or not. I don't know if you want to talk about this, but did you have any like altercations with people that either somebody calls you out and then you run into them and it's awkward and then I don't know what happened? But did you ever deal with stuff like that?
Let's talk about Mark Bell for a second. That little man, I would.
No, you guys are cool now. I think you made up or something, right?
Believe it or not, that was like one of the first. It was a complete joke. Because I put up a funny video and then he came back on a funny video and everybody thought they were real.
Oh, that was just back and forth for fun.
It was just, yeah, he was coming off of, he was a big time wrestler at a time. And so he could play the microphone well. And so, I was coming off of Gladiators and stuff. And so we were just beefing and joking and stuff. But it turned into people really thought it was real. And so much so that you even thought it was real. I
thought it was real. I wasn't sure. But I saw you guys made up after that. You guys did a workout video together. So I wasn't sure.
Actually, his brother, Chris, and
I know Chris. I don't know Mark, but I know Chris, his brother. Right?
Chris was one of my, when he first moved to California, he was my training partner in powerlifting. Yeah, back in the early 90s. Mark is actually not even made up. We're not even made up. It's more like he's family. And it was always been that way.
So it was just joking around. I got it. I understand.
Yeah, it was such a joke. And I was really close with their other brother, Mad Dog, because he's the one that taught me how to big time wrestle. So it was like, no, there was never a beef. And let me say, with others.
Yeah, you ever had a real beef?
Not with anybody important. Not with anybody of you know what I mean though? It's like, there's tons of guys that can't stand me. That's life. I think one of my favorite people was Paul Newman. As a character, an actor, as a person. And he says, if you don't got people that don't like you, then you got there's no character within you. And of course there's going to be people that can't stand.
Yeah. I'm not talking about social media guys. I'm talking about like somebody in the industry that's like an influencer or a bodybuilder or something.
I can't think of anybody of stature. Again, I don't, here's the one thing. I might look like the biggest snowflake in the world, but I think the majority of people know that I'm a judo champion. I've done martial arts my whole life. I'm a power lifter. I'm strong as anything. So I think when it comes to face, I don't think there's going to be too many legit guys that really want to step. But for snowflakes and social media people, there's millions. I'm assuming there's millions. But I don't know. Man, if you got anybody, let me know.
I will. I doubt it, though. I mean, I don't. It's funny. A lot of people talk on social media, but I never see them actually, like, do that ever. Like, because Expo, I'm sure you've been to Expos. You don't see anybody, like, try to, like, call somebody out. Even, like, I've never seen that before.
I've seen it. But again, I've seen some people get called out in person, but yeah, there's people you just don't tussle with. They don't care if their names are big names and stuff like that. That's what I love about like CT. It's like, we're old school. You call us out, we got no problem blasting your soul. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not this new, you're a celebrity or you have a name. You shouldn't do that kind of stuff. No, I'm old school. I'm a guy. You talk smack. Let's meet. So, but yeah, I think that's just it's a whole new world. I'm so removed from the world that is now, the youngsters, because they're so instant to, if somebody does something on social media, oh, that's incorrect. Wait a minute, that's Stan Efferton showing you how to squat. Of course it's not incorrect. It's Ed Cohen showing you how to deadlift. Of course that's not incorrect. Just because you don't like it, or it's the comprehension of that. So that's a great point. What made you think of that?
I just thought about it because I was watching some videos, and that video came up of Mark Bell, and it was like from years ago. It was like 2007, 16 or something like that.
Yeah.
And there was a video of him like I didn't know, he looked serious in the video, so I wasn't sure. But then there was another video of you guys working out together after the date was after something like it was obviously you made up, but I didn't know if it was just a joke. That's good.
It was.
What do you think about that though? What do you think about today people calling out other people? Let's stay on this for a second because I'm curious to this because I see people like I see Joey Swoll is doing a lot of stuff going, hey, let's not be this way in the gym. And that seems to get some good attraction.
I like what Joey's doing. What he's trying to do is basically call out people that are like basically making fun of other people in the gym. Either making fun of them or like basically they doing something that just like there was a couple of videos like let's say some girl in the gym or something and she's filming herself or something and there's some guys just chilling in the background in like a pool or whatever. And it's in a pool, right? Like in whatever. And she's like, look at that creep, you know what I mean? The guy's not even looking at her. So like, it was things like that. Was it the one
where she goes, "What's that? What? I didn't say nothing." Yeah, that's right. And she was like talking back to him, and he's like, "Listen, it was that because
one.
I don't know which one it is, but I took one of Joey's and reposted it onto my TikTok because I thought it was awesome. I thought it was awesome but I think that was more of today's society where the girl took off her top. And if you were looking around in the gym and somebody takes off their top, you're probably looking just out of not even knowing you're looking. And so for her to act like I'm the most beautiful thing in the world and every guy's going to lust after me and you shouldn't even look at me. It's like, well, okay, wait a minute. That doesn't make sense.
I like what he's doing too. I like what he's doing. It's a different type of call out. Like that's cool, but you know, people like, I mean, I guess it's a call out, but like what I like is when people aggressively call somebody out in an aggressive way, you know what I mean? And then like what you just like, I don't know, you're creating a whole bunch of problems.
I think Joey's doing a good one because it's always about the person having a bad attitude because somebody else got in their way or something like that. Because I would go on the other side of what Joey's doing because it is kind of annoying to see people in the gym screaming and yelling with 95 pounds on there. And I'm like, what are you doing? You're screaming and yelling 95 pounds. It's like, so I understand Joey's doing it, but I also understand the other side of people where they get frustrated in a gym. Because I get frustrated at Gold's Gym Venice because I miss the old school mentality of having the Milos there, having Chris Cormier there, Flex Wheeler there, all these guys lifting like mad dogs. Jim Quinn, Mike Quinn, Troy Zucolato, all these guys lifting to one-up each other, talking smack because you want the best out of the other guy. So I miss that aspect of of gyms itself. And so I understand the other side of going, listen, I'm here to freaking train. If you're bouncing around acting like a tool, I'm okay with somebody posting that. I'm not going to be against that because it's just annoying at times. There's both sides, obviously. You
see that crazy video of Guy Cisternino? I think it was last year, I think. He was lifting, he was shooting something in the gym. And I had a conversation to him about this also in an interview, but he like flipped out on some kid in the gym. Because it's online. You can just go and YouTube the Guy Cisternino gym flip out, whatever. It's some guy was like standing. I forgot what happened. Somebody was close to him or something, and he just like snapped at some kid or whatever. But then he apologized, and they made it like everything was cool, you know what I mean? But the video went viral, I guess, and people were like, "Wow, Guy, why are you so you're so mean?" You know what I mean? They were calling him out.
Was he dieted down?
Huh? I don't know.
He was just down.
I'm not sure. He already at that point retired from competing, but I don't know. He just snapped on the kid for a quick second, but everything was fine, you know what I mean? But people were calling him out.
So I trained with anybody you can think of in the health and fitness world. Back in the 80s and 90s, I trained with them. And there was a lot of guys, and I won't say names, that would snap on people.
Really?
Yeah.
But that's not good. That's not good, though, right? I mean, do you agree or disagree?
It's a give and take. It's a give and take. So I always go back to the martial arts world. If you're a white belt, you're not walking into a black belt's class and disrespecting it. And I know that's a harsh reality, but some of these, we take the lifting, it's our meditation. So if we go into a church and we're meditating, if you go into a temple and you're meditating and somebody comes up and bugs you or they're bouncing around, imagine the annoyance you have at that point. So that's not okay to do in a church or in a temple or in a dojo, but it's okay to do in a gym. And so both sides of the fences are right and wrong. It's like, yeah, it's a gym. If people want to train in a weird way, that's their right. But
it's a public gym, though, mate. It's a public gym. It's like a crunch or something.
So is a church. So is a temple. But there is a way to act in a temple. There is a way to act in a church. There is a way, a protocol to do in these situations. You don't walk into a black belt jiu-jitsu class as a white belt and start talking smack and bouncing around.
Of course.
So why would that be different than the gym? Why in the gym are you allowed to do whatever you want in the most annoying way possible and not get called out for it?
What annoys you at the gym? Like what would make you snap in the gym?
I go at 4 o'clock in the morning because I know I'm dieting. I know that I get annoyed by that kind of stuff. And so I go in early. I get it in, get it done. Everybody at that time is there. They have a protocol. They're all hungry, successful people, 4 to 6. We don't even have music on at that time.
What would annoy you? What would annoy you at the gym? Like, what would make you like, oh, what is going on? Like, what, you know what I mean? What specifically? Somebody's working out in front of you in the mirror? Like, would that upset you?
No. That's why I like Joey's stuff, because it seems as though Joey is more focused on the guy being not getting the social media post or the girl being offended for no reason. I get those, and I like that. I'm just giving the other side of the story of if a guy is doing an exercise and they saw it on Instagram from, just bouncing around the gym, getting in everybody's ways, screaming and yelling with 95 pounds on the bar when he's a 250-pound guy. It's like, all right, enough. All right. You know, it goes back to that, are you curling in the squat rack? Stop it. So there is, makes sense though, right? So is it wrong? And I'll guarantee if I put up something going, get your ass out of the squat rack, go curl over there, that would go viral and people would go, oh, you're mean. You're mean. No, it's a squat rack. Have some kind of courtesy for the people that may be a little bit more into this than you are, or maybe understand a little bit more.
But
how about this one? How about this one? Let's say you want to use a machine and somebody's sitting there on their phone and you're waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting. You ever seen those people?
I've seen those.
That's annoying, I think.
So that's annoying. So why would it be bad to go? Because in the old days, it would be like, how many sets you got? I got 3 sets. Cool. I jump in between. I'm supersetting. Cool. I'll stay out of your way or jump in between. That's the old school mentality. And it didn't matter if you knew the person or didn't know the person. You go up and you do it. You know? It's like, how many sets you got? I got 10 sets left. 10 sets? What program are you on? And you look like, okay, that's annoying. It's like, I could suggest something. Maybe that'd be nice of you to do that, but you can't help everybody in the gym. So I got 2 folds here. If they're sitting there on their phone and they're thinking they're going to sit there for 3 minutes and the machine needs to be used by somebody else, get your
off of there. And I'll actually say that. And if you guys think that's toxic, that's fine.
You will say get your off of there?
If the guy's on the phone and they're texting and I go, hey, how many sets you got left? I don't do it in that tone, but I do it a nicer way. But he goes, I got 5 sets left. Do you mind if I jump in a couple sets? You know, usually the majority of people are pretty cool. Every once in a while, you'll get the guy going, no. And then I got Mona next to me, and then she straightens everything out. So we get the machine ourselves. But here's a question. When you see something, is it factual? So the guy's posing in the mirror. Somebody walks by him. Joey grabs the video, puts it up. And I think Joey's really good about this. I will say this. I think Joey finds out the full story before he does it. And I love that he does that. And the reason why is this. Let's say hypothetically you got a show in 3 days. You're posing in the bathroom. You set your phone up to take a look at you. I agree that you should do this. It's the end of the workout. You're in the bathroom. Cool. A guy keeps walking by you 10 times. Purposely. Just, you know, oh, you stupid kids, videoing yourself, whatever. See, I'm on the kid's side. Society will only see him walk in front of it one time. But you didn't know the whole story, the 10 folds. And the reason why I say that is I got a buddy, a training partner for over 30 years. Okay? And if you know me, you kind of know this guy. This guy's a 350-pound guy. And he just got hip surgery. And he has a cane. So I did a video where he's sitting on a bench, and I walk up and I kick his cane and walk away. And I put it up on the social media. You stay with me? Okay, so I kicked out his cane. I put up 7 seconds of me just walking up, kicking out the cane and walking away. It got destroyed. Everybody's tagging Joey. Oh man, you're this is so mean. This is so mean. And it's just a play. It's just like the Mark Bell thing. We were just joking around to see the full story. They want to jump on you. Society wants to jump on you. So if they see something like that and Joey comes out or somebody else comes out and goes, hey, that's not the right proper, you don't know the whole story. It goes two ways. It's like, it's social media. If you want to do it, and I like that Joey's doing it, but again, for me, I wouldn't do it because of the fact that I don't know the whole story. And I know people get annoyed in the gym. And I know that a lot of the people, mostly the elites, are probably dieting. They're probably beat down. They're probably into the workout where there's somebody jumping around the gym acting like a tool. And you get that caught one time and you're a bad guy.
Would you be upset if, let's say, somebody's using a bench and then they leave it and wipe it down? Would that piss you off?
Nah.
I don't care about that.
I don't. Yeah, I'm old school, though. I'm old school. I got a sweatshirt on. I cover up. You know me, I cover up. So the sweaty stuff. I'm trying to think of something that would annoy me. I think the only thing that would annoy me is the individual that's just in the way of everybody. And they're doing silly stuff and they set up 5 different things and stuff. And it's like they're bouncing around bench to bench to bench and they're using everybody's equipment and nobody can use anything. Those people annoy me. If you want to do that, go to a CrossFit gym or go out back where there's more room and stuff. But don't do it in here.
But I'm glad that you and Mark Bell didn't have a real beef. That's good.
I'm pretty low key. If you got a gripe with me, I pretty much let it go. But he and I, it's fun. It's a fun. But we're that mentality of we like the banter. We like to talk smack. When it comes to appeasing judges, stay with me on this. Mm-hmm. When it comes to appeasing judges, is that the ultimate goal to health and fitness and bodybuilding, or should it be something else?
If you're competing, that's the most important thing. If you're competitive, if you're competing on the stage, that's what matters, no?
Because
you want to win in the competitions and you want to move up the ladder, you know what I'm saying? If you don't move past the first competition or the second one, you want to move up, right? It's like a ladder, basically. Competing is all about appealing to the judges. It's the only thing that matters. If you want to be competitive, well, if you do a good job, hopefully you're going to win. And hopefully you're going to win the highest.
Let's say you win. Let's say you appease those 9 judges or whatever it is. You win the show. How does that help?
To become a champion?
Yeah.
Well, okay, let's break it. I know what you're trying to say. What's the point of getting a plastic? I know where you're going with that, Mike. You're saying, okay, so you get a plastic trophy. Well, then, right?
If you disagree, stay with it. I'm fine with that. If you think that 100%, because there's people watching right now going,
sure,
all that matters is that I freaking win.
Sure. And
Jay Cutler said that. All I cared about was winning the show.
All right. So let's look at.
I love being the champion.
Sure. So let's look at Jay Cutler, for example, right? What winning meant for him, right? So first he was winning on obviously amateur level, then he became professional. He was winning as a professional. They noticed him. They sponsored him. He made an income as a professional athlete. He continued to chase the title, and then he became a champion. More contracts, more endorsements, right? So it's income, it's being respected in the sport, being the top in your profession. And then he retired, and then he got more endorsements, and he converted that into social media, and he continued going. But at the time he was competing, obviously, it was being a champion, just like Michael Jordan when he won the championships. What did he do with it? He got the money, he got the respect, he got the career, he got the family, he got everything he wanted, right? And he became the king of the sport. So it's the same thing with Jay Cutler in his sport.
So has anybody ever, because we're talking about one individual, we're talking about like Michael Jordan, we're talking about Jay Cutler. These are the greatest, man. These guys are just the pinnacle. Lee Haney, these are incredible individuals. Was there anybody else that tried as hard as they did?
What's the difference between Jay Cutler and those who tried to be like him? Is the fact that the judges didn't see this the same. They chose him as the winner, right? So obviously, to put it in simple terms, he was better, right? He was better. At the time of the competition, he was better than them. So I'm sure they all tried. Some tried as maybe not as hard as him, right? Some just didn't have enough genetics. Some didn't have enough passion. And some maybe just had just enough, but not as enough for the judges to reward,
I agree with you on the surface level, but I think there's an underlining level that I don't think society picks up on. And what it is they, like when you ask like Michael Jordan, what was it? Was it the championships? Was it this? Was it that? And none of it was. It was about nobody will ask me to train harder, be better than I ask myself. And I think Jay Cutler has that same mindset. I think Jay, and I've talked to Jay and I've traveled with Jay, and I see that within him that there was a time, it wasn't technically about the 9 judges. It was technically about, I'm going to outwork everybody. I'm going to put in more effort than anybody. I'm going to train better than everybody. I'm going to diet better than everybody. It's me. I'm asking the greatest I can of myself. And then if I win, I win.
Listen, absolutely. But if they
lose, I lose. But at least I give myself
that's
everything.
The best mindset, I think, right? As a champion, you need to have that mindset.
I think so. But I think people miss it. I think people really, and they always come up to me if I'm judging a show and they go, "What are you looking for?" Bring your best. Bring your best. And I think people go, no. I need to do like the one judge that told me when I won the Mr. California. Oh, dude, put on another 20 pounds. I laughed it off. Inside, I smiled at him and said, great advice, awesome, and walked away going, hell no. Because I knew what I wanted to look like. I knew what I was capable of and how I wanted to look. And if I catered to what they wanted, my career would have been over in the mid-90s. And I think that was the biggest thing that's what I loved about Jordan and all these guys, and Lee Haney, is like, I expect the best out of myself. You can't ask me to train harder. You can't ask me to diet harder because I'm already doing it as extreme as I possibly can. And I'm taking even a notch further than that. And so I'm getting ready for this movie and I'm training and everybody's, looking, going, what show are you getting ready for? What are you doing? I go, no, I want to bring a better physique to this movie than when I won the universe. And it's because I want it. That's what I want. And they're already, the producers and stuff, you look good like you are. And I'm like, no. I want to look this way. And so if the fans are out there and they're watching this and they're saying, oh, no, it's about winning the show. Winning the show is nice. And I agree with you. It gets you possibilities to make money. But man, if you give it everything you freaking got, everything you got, and you take 10th, you're going to walk off stage going, that was the very best I got. I worked my ass off. And you set yourself up mentally to keep that kind of lifestyle going, where the guy that took second, that was only interested about winning, quits. Oh, I didn't win. Forget them. The judges don't like me. Nobody likes me. Whatever. Oh, poor me. Life's so hard. Where the guy that in 10th place goes, yeah, life's hard. I'm going to work my freaking ass off. I don't care. And it goes back to our last episode where I said, a man is what he does, not what he says. And so all these social media people putting out going, this is how life is and it's tough and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, what are you talking about? You have no idea what life is like, how tough it can be. I'm married to a woman that comes from a communist country that didn't speak the language, that had to sneak over here at 16 years old to New York. And she made millions off her wit. Barely went through 7th grade. And you're talking about your life is hard? I'm not the guy to listen to your story.
But do you think whether you're a competitive athlete, whether you're an influencer, like you need some kind of affirmation from somebody? Like for example, your career, right? You were getting progressively, you worked your ass off, but if nobody would notice you at all, like if nobody would give you that you know what I mean, that reward, whether it's the job,
you're wrong.
But wait, hold up a second. If let's say,
keep going.
Let's say you were doing absolute best every day, Mike, absolute best every day, and you were happy. I did my best I could, but if you're not seeing the results, whether it's Joe Weider saying, "Hey, Mike, you know you should be on the cover of this magazine," whether it's a sponsor, whether it's a judge, like somebody needs to give you some kind of reward to see, okay, I'm seeing the results of my work. Or are you saying that's not important at all, ever?
Absolutely not. And if fame is a reward, if money is reward, if getting the job every single time is the reward, you'll never stay with anything. It doesn't come easy. It doesn't. None of it comes easy. Remember, I was here on stage with Chris Cormier as teenage bodybuilders at the Nationals. I was the biggest kid there. I'm walking on stage at 17 at 220 pounds, and Chris Cormier was barely a light heavyweight, you know, and he wins his class, and Gerard Dente wins the heavyweights, and I'm sitting there going bigger than everybody, and I'm like, I like this. I like the fight. Take me out of this. Anybody I've ever met, it's about the struggle and it being hard and understanding it's going to be hard, but fighting through that. When I was talking to this lead actor this last movie, I said, and he good kid, father was military, mother was a preacher, and good kid from Texas, and he was talking about how he went to Juilliard for 4 years, and then he studied 3 years after that. And it still took him some time to get there. And it's like, but I love the process. I love the process. But it's anybody I've talked to. Tommy Chong, look where he grew up. And it's like, it can't be from somebody else patting you on the shoulder. If that's what you're looking for, you're not going to stay with it. There's going to be years.
I understand that. But, okay, if Jay Cutler wouldn't have won all those competitions, we wouldn't have been talking about him, right?
Sure we would. Sure we would. Yeah.
Okay.
You know why? Let's say he took second every time. He's still such a nice individual, a good cat, well-spoken, loves the workouts. I don't think it mattered that he won. In my opinion, Jay would still be a superstar, even if he didn't win the Mr. Olympia. In my opinion.
Well, we would have to find out about him somehow. He would have become a big social media influencer.
He would have been in the magazines. He would have been in the magazines. I'm not saying that there's going to be moments that you get it and don't get it, right? And maybe not everybody's, I guess American Idol made it clear when they say, oh, whatever your dream is, chase it. Well, that's not true. I mean, look at the auditions for American Idol. There's a lot of people that think they sing and they suck. So I'm not saying that life is perfect. I'm not saying that whatever that is, but there has to be a bigger picture than fame. It has to be a bigger picture than somebody preaching going, dude, you're great, man. I'm proud of you. You're super. Absolutely. You're not getting that at 4 o'clock in the morning when you got to get up and start dieting again and have just tuna fish and water. It ain't that world. And it's funny because of the fact that we're having this talk, because we wouldn't have this talk 30 years ago. Why is that, do you think?
I guess maybe, do you think it's because there was less examples of people that have succeeded without those, like you said, judges?
I think it was more common that it was get up, do the work every single day. Stop complaining, nobody cares. And today it's safe space and mean words and this and that. It's like, no, we got to be in this nice bubble of life. Life ain't easy. Life's tough, man.
Life is very
tough. It's tough. And it doesn't matter if you're rich or not rich. Man, some of the most happy people in the world that are living life fully are some of the most broke people I know. But they get up, they do the work, they enjoy life. Stop looking for handouts and people patting you on the back.
Have you ever had moments in your life when you felt like giving up? Whatever that means. Giving up meaning just like don't have strength to continue. Mental strength.
Never had moments of giving up. I was depressed when I lost my mom, and I dropped hard. Also because I did the old school guy where when I lost my dad, I'm like, oh, okay, that's life. And I tried to move on, which I don't think is smart. I think you should live in that pain and listen to that pain, because I think you grow so much more in life in those painful moments than you do when everything's great. When everything's great, man, life's easy. But when things are tough and you find out who you are and you come through that on your own, you're a whole different person. And so I think for me, when I dropped and I stayed with the basic habits that I created, I pulled myself out so I didn't spiral out of control and end up who knows where. But I never wanted to quit because I didn't do it for money. I didn't do it for fame. There is an anger, a chip on the shoulder. There is a rage within me that I need the lifting. So for me, I don't need the pat on the shoulder. I don't need you to say, hey, that's great advice you're giving. It's advice. You like it? You don't like it. You don't need to tell me that. Hey, you have a great physique. Thank you. I appreciate that. But again, it's, you know, it doesn't weigh one way or another. Oh, you're ugly as shit, dude. You're a dork, whatever. It's like, cool deal, man. Awesome. Have a good day.
That's a strong mindset. That's a strong mindset.
Well, I mean, come on. You're not doing this. Remember, I started at 9 years old. I was in the magazines by 17. In the magazines. And now I'm closing on mid-50s. It's like, it's mindset. And I see that with everybody, though. I don't care if they're 22-year-olds, James Maslow doing music on stage. He has a mindset that I am pushing this. I don't need the parties on the weekend. But when you talk to a lot of elites, what's their mindset? Money? Any of them? Are they chasing money?
I think some do, but I think generally speaking, it's further than that. Of course, you know, it's more than that. It's more of a, you know, it's definitely the respect thing. I think with a lot of them, you know, some kind of commanding some kind of respect, you know, and you know, obviously, but you know what? Everybody says it's me against me. Like everybody says that, you know, kind of like, okay, you know, like everybody says that. I understand. Like it means you have to kind of overcome yourself. You know what I mean? I get that. But of course, they want to be respected. Come on, they want to get the respect from the community that they're in. In this case, we're talking about fitness community, right? They want to be the dominant factor, right? And I think that obviously, whether they succeed on the stage or off the stage, it's still, you know that expression of the tree falls in the forest, nobody hears it, right? It still fell, but so you got to make noise.
No, I agree with you. I hope that what I'm saying doesn't interfere with me saying that you need to be a beast every day and you got to be better than everybody else. You have to fight. The best man gets the job. That's it. They're not going to give you the job because you were 10th. You still got to do that stuff. And I think that warrior mentality you have to have. But if you got that within you, that's a pretty big thing. I get you. It seems like social media is such an echo. You heard everything. And then somebody grabs somebody else's thing and they say it and so on and so forth. It's like, it's me against me. No, it's not. There is a sense of you have to control your own emotions. I get that. But it's you against the world, man. It really is. It's you want to be Mr. Olympia? It's you against every other dude out there that's trying to be Mr. Olympia. And when you back off, someone else is training harder than you. I understand that the gym is a public place. But again, I come from an old school mentality that it is there for you to do the work. And it is tough for some of us to watch people doing incorrect work or just wasting time in there while we're actually trying to create the art piece, still try to get better. and we're still in there for the fight. It is that old school mentality of, I want to get in there, do the best I can, and get out with as little distractions as possible. But it is, again, a gym, so I fully understand everybody doing their thing, but try to be respectful to everybody else that's there. I come from a martial arts background in powerlifting, where the gym was very intense and the martial arts studios were old school. And so when it comes to health and fitness centers, I do like a gym. And I do wish more people would respect that location for the guys that are there to do the work and the women that are there to do the work. If you're going to be bouncing around, try to find a location that you're away from people. If you still don't understand how to train, it's a gym, man. There's a lot of great people there. Ask somebody. Pay attention. At the end of the day, I agree with what Joey is doing for what Joey wants to do and put out the positivity. But again, I get annoyed at gyms watching people do what they're doing. And again, it's not your fault. You just need to ask questions. We kind of went off on a subject about mindset and about wanting to be the very best. And you got to go into it. And one of the statements was, well, you know, you want to get the pat on the back. Fully understand that. I know you want to get respected. I know you want to make the money. I know you want to have the fame. I know you want to get patted on the back saying that you deserve this and you're great. If that is the forefront of your motivation, you will fail. That's it. You will fail. If the forefront of the motivation is that you want to push yourself harder than anybody else can, you will succeed. And those things will happen. And it's nice to get those things. I'm no different than anybody else. I like hearing that. But it doesn't change me on, I will get up the next day and put in the same work. And so don't get carried away with how many likes and posts and comments. Stay focused on what you're doing. Sometimes it takes a long time. Guys, I've been in this game since 1987. And I'm just catching my stride now. I'm just one example, but there's a lot of people out there that are still pushing and still doing it. And it's because they love it deep inside. Have a great day. Thanks for joining me on my Titan show. Mike O'Hearn, Generation Iron. I'll see you guys next week.